go, here we go, here we go, here we go. It's markets in the morning. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Welcome to Markets in the Morning. Today is Wednesday, September 13th, 2023. Welcome to Markets in the Morning, where we take a look at the price action of the cryptocurrency market, the stock market, the altcoin market, Bitcoin, XRP, and of course, we'll take a look over there at metals and the dollar and any type of financial news that is going on out there. Today, as we get ready to start our day, today is CPI day. We did get the CPI data report today. Came pretty close to in line with expectations. We'll gloss over that really quick. Market doesn't seem to be surprised by the data that we have there. It looks like we're about to open right now. Let's see here. Futures were up ever so slightly. And we can see now as the market does open, we can see the indexes are up slightly green this morning. So that was kind of the big news of today. Otherwise, crypto, not too much changed from yesterday after having really kind of that capitulation day back there on Monday as Bitcoin got back down near its support level and then bounced off the last couple of days. Otherwise, just kind of settling in here, waiting for another move to show up here for Bitcoin. Today's data was CPI, so let's go over this too. So next week's the big week because it's where we have the Fed. The Fed's expected to pause. This data right here, I believe before we had the CPI release, it said like 93%. I've seen it bounce as low in the last 24 hours. I've seen it bounce as low as 91% chance that the Fed will be paused. CPI came out today, or the Consumer Price Index, which is a measure of inflation. You have core, which excludes food and energy, and then you have your standard CPI. Expectations that you'd have 0.6% month over month, which would be 3.6% year over year. We ended up getting the 0.6% month over month, but made the annual 3.7. So, you think about that. It's like an elementary kid learning about their decimal places, right? That it's rounded, right? We're getting it in tenths of percentage points there. So 0.6%. You could have a 0.57 and that would round to 0.6, or you could have a 0.645 and that would still round to 0.6%. So probably it was more on that higher end of the 0.6%, which altered the year over year to 3.7. Either way, it was right in line. The core came in at 0.3% with the expectation of being 0.2%, and then the annual for core came in at 4.3%, which was the expectation. So we met expectations. So stock market now ripping up 100 points for the Dow Jones as the market is now getting its way going. So up 0.25%. The S&P is up 0.25%, and the NASDAQ is up 1/3%. So we're still doing fine after that data release. I forgot to touch on this. After this data got released, we've now shifted to a 97% probability that the Fed is going to be paused still at the next meeting, right? So the federal funds rate is from this 5.25% to 5.5%, and we have core inflation at 4.3%, and we have just standard CPI over there at 3.7%. So the federal funds rate has certainly exceeded what the current inflationary rate is. So this is what their target is, to try to bring inflation down, to have the federal funds rate exceeding what inflation actually is. So we are above it. Looking over at the Dow. All right, looking at the markets as they're getting going. Bitcoin, I guess we'll cover cryptos, right? Bitcoin sitting at 26,163. We'll look at it on a smaller time frame. So this is kind of, where we have like our capitulation happening here over there on Monday. Then we pulled our way out of here. Now we're back working in this range. My thoughts are maybe a couple more days in here, max, picking whether it's going to happen in 5 minutes or it's going to happen in 72 hours. I think we're going to work here, but then we're going to shift up again. Just based on crashing structures and how these things tend to actually go in here. But just kind of waiting on that next move to show up in there for Bitcoin and for the cryptocurrency market. Fortunately, good moves over here in the stock market, at least for today. everything's looking towards next week. Otherwise, these structures, right, they're all just looking just fine. And it's going to be the big question: how is crypto going to respond during a moment like this? This area right here, this is the 4.236 extension of since our great financial crisis. This is also exactly how high the Roaring '20s went when it printed its bubble and when it popped. So when everything came crumbling down and we went into the Great Depression, this is where we went to right here. So we'll be tracking that as we go along with it all. XRP, pretty boring, still sitting down here waiting for accumulation to either complete and get our shift out of here. Really, that's just what I'm waiting on. Nothing has changed in here until we see something to say we're in a new trading level, and then what from there. Otherwise, the trading level still continues to go on. DXY, this one moved a lot too. Put this like on the 1 minute time frame, because I watch these things when these data releases come out here. I'll watch and see how it's reacting. You can see incredibly volatile. The story was the same way over here on the Dow Jones. You can see incredibly volatile when the CPI does get released. Sometimes if it's something crazy, which you guys don't know, when these things come out, I do actually bust out my recording software, and I'll sit here and I'll record and kind of prepare for it, and I'll kind of set the intro up for it for 2 minutes, and I'll say, here's what's happening, here's what the expectations are, now let's see what reactions are. And I've never had one where I actually end up including it in a video, but I kind of record it and prepare for it in case there is something for that to happen. But we got multiple fake outs, as you can see. We had a fake out to the upside, fake out to the downside, and then look at this as the markets now get open and get moving. We have price action to the upside here happening for the Dow. So it's nice to see that there was no negative reaction to that, which I didn't think there would be. I don't think there's going to be negative reactions to the Fed next week either. I think we're kind of getting ready for a euphoria moment happening in all markets. Of course, I would change that tune very quickly, like I've said, if for some reason we did drift below 33,600 here on the Dow Jones. It would be your first lower low. That would deviate away from every single little uptrend that we've had with the Dow. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. But otherwise, yeah, I think we're working on it, and I think the excitement is going to come. And I think it'll be like what we saw with Bitcoin back in 2021, that everyone was convinced Bitcoin was in a bear market, and it wasn't until it got back up in here and then started poking through that everyone became believers of $100,000 Bitcoin. I think that's what's going to happen with the general public. I think that's what's going to happen with the soft landing narrative, with no landing narrative. Everything is fine. Everything is dandy. Inflation is under control. Fed's going to pause. The world is going to sing Kumbaya, and we're all happy. And that's typically what happens before every recession, at least the last ones that we've seen. Right, you look at C19, what happened in here. Everybody's happy, singing Kumbaya, and then everything falls apart. Same thing as what happened over there during the Great Financial Crisis. The exact same story, right? Kumbaya, everything's happy, then it all falls apart. So, fortunately, we're not at the falls apart part yet. The exciting part where everybody gets euphoric and everybody's grandma and everybody pours back into the market, and all the doomers come pouring back in. Only to then get wrong-footed. So we'll watch this throughout that whole time. That's kind of my thesis of the market at this point, and that's what I'll continue to believe in until proven otherwise. Otherwise, for today, green over there in the stock market. Let's see who's the leaders today. Leader is Ford and Tesla and Meta. Losers are Roblox and Apple and Google. Yields mixed. 10-year yield is down. I saw, of course, doomers immediately post about the little pop that the 10-year had on the 1 minute chart this morning. 10-year yield, its highest in years. And then, falls back. There's always somebody there to go talk about the 10-year yield. Fake out. But so it looks like long duration yields are kind of struggling. Shorter duration yields are the ones that kind of getting a little bit of a pop this morning, if you even want to call that a pop. That's barely any movement whatsoever. So I wouldn't say it's too big of a dramatic change over here in yields this morning, except for anybody who thought they were in a breakout. They're not. Otherwise, stocks up. Metals mix. Let's see how metals are doing. Well, let's talk about the dollar first. So dollar pulling back. Still, it feels like it's too early to go too deep into it. I'm keenly aware there could be little fakes that shift, and it is still on top of a support. We've covered DXY in detail. 106 is that area to stay underneath. 106 has been breakdown levels in multiple market cycles. So getting back up in here, totally normal, but pausing out for a while. That's kind of what we're looking for in here, and we haven't had anything occur here yet to indicate that is what's occurring. As for gold, there was some big volume that came in there. Let's take a look at that. That came in to scoop that immediate dip that happened this morning. The same thing was over there on silver. You had some serious volume come in there right away, as it has been in a drawdown for quite some time at this point. So we'll see. But gold is up, dollar is down, stocks are up, and it's mixed on stocks. Not too bad. It seems like maybe Roblox has their own issue going on in there. I'm not sure. I don't follow the news wire for Roblox very closely. But yeah, they're kind of the ones that are in the struggle. Otherwise, green, crypto, green. A good day, a good day with some just meeting expectations on CPI, and with the Fed expected even higher now at 95%. So there you go, 95% for pause come next Wednesday, and a 5% chance that they do a raise. As for the overnight repos drained even more last night, which I just don't think the market's paying attention to. I just don't think people are paying attention to what is going on there. The massive amount of money that is draining out of the repos is just crazy. Hold on. Look at this. No one's paying attention. Everybody's doomer on Bitcoin too with that. Like, it's like I don't think people are paying attention to what's happening here. Right? And it just keeps going. Yesterday we crossed below the 1.5 trillion. And where is it? We've gotten as high, right? As high as 2.5 trillion parked over here at the Fed. And we have bled out over $1 trillion. This moment right here led to all stock indexes breaking through their last Fibonacci retracement levels. And then now this one has just all occurred. And everybody's screaming in fear and torture. I just don't think anyone's paying attention to that. I think this will be so interesting to see if it did pan out and everybody just ignored it. Right? So this one kind of led the way. Like, you look over here, right? You had this big drainage out happen in here, and then the stock indexes broke through all the retracements, right? So now we've had this big drainage happen in here. Now what? So, boy, here we go. All right. I think that really just kind of covers it. CPI was essentially a meet, which it was the highest reading. Just to let it out there, it's the highest reading we've had in a year, a 0.6%. Question is, where did it come from? Did it come from food? I'll have to dive into it a little bit more in the coming days. It's possible that it came from food. Gas prices, they kind of had a little bit of a bump there in the summertime, right, in August. I've noticed that used vehicle prices have kind of stabilized, whereas but really during all of August, they were in decline. So I don't know. I'll have to go look at it and see what the details of it are. But I don't think it really matters because these guys are smarter than me. The collective group of the market, 97% says it's not something to be concerned about, that the Fed is paused. So yeah, there's that. Otherwise, you got a green day over here in the cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin at 26,148 really just kind of stalled after the bigger move that happened the last couple of days, which was to be expected. And I think there's still probably, my best guess, we're guessing time here, I think there's probably at least probably till at least Friday. And who knows, maybe it's going to wait until the Fed. But my thoughts are we've already bottomed. All right. So that's what we got. I forgot to do this. I always forget to do this. Follow me over here on Twitter at BCBacker. This is the only social media that I do use. Do not go speaking with people on Telegram or on WhatsApp or on Threads, Instagram. Those are all impersonators over there. The only active social media that I have is here on Twitter at BCBacker with the blue check mark. And I am not messaging in the comment section of anything telling you of lucrative business opportunities and to send me DMs and to send your crypto to me. I'm not doing that. That's an impersonator who's trying to scam you. Report that person. This is me, BC Backer. Of course, you could check out bcbacker.com. Over 40 videos, 11 hours of content, deep diving into the crypto market, all this good stuff. I won't run through all of it today. There you go. Tons of videos. If you want to watch more videos from me, you can check that out at bcbacker.com. Otherwise, I think we've pretty much covered the markets today. You got a continued massive drainage happening over there and the reverse repurchase agreements. It doesn't seem like the market has priced that in. Market seems to be totally happy, totally fine with the CPI data that was released. Market seems to feel even more confident that the Fed is going to be pausing next Wednesday. And that's that, right? Any type of crypto news. It looks like the CEO of Binance US stepped down. Looks like they're unwinding. They've cut 1/3 of their staff. It feels like they're just going through a shutdown process. I'm pretty sure Binance US is probably going through the process of closing the doors entirely. So Coinbase is to integrate the Bitcoin Lightning Network, Bitcoin ETF Optimism, and WorldCoin Skeptic. Okay. Ripple is staring down an opportunity to fix its closed system, and NFT markets in a death spiral or ready for resurgence. Binance US CEO exits Ethereum developer consensus and builds snaps add-ons for MetaMask. Right. So Binance US, that's going to be the news. It's going to be a fear. Everybody's trying to FUD Binance the best they can. Good luck with that, people. My guess is anybody who is FUDding Binance is doing it for one reason and one reason only. They're totally committed to the 12K, totally committed to it. They need something to happen to get it for them. And that's what they're going for. All right. Just so you know, we had that in 2018, 2019, and it was called Bitfinex, and it never happened. Binance US CEO is left. Crypto exchange cuts 1/3 of workforce. I bet they're going to get to where they cut 100%. Web3 doesn't care about Bitcoin prices and other musings from Korea. Okay, looking at major financial news in here, you can see August core inflation, excluding food and energy, rose 0.3%, which was hotter than expected. Yeah, it makes a good headline, but it's right on par, and you can definitely see the market is more confident than ever that it's not going to impact what the Fed does, that the Fed is done. Okay, Treasury yields tick higher. Might want to update that. No, they didn't. They pulled back down. S&P 500 futures are little changed as traders digest the August CPI report. American Airlines, Spirit Airlines cut summer profit forecast on higher costs. Moderna says flu vaccine showed promising results in phase 3 trial. Okay, we won't go to that. I know it's a hot topic. That kind of stuff. Okay. Airfares rise for the first time since March. U.S. core CPI picks up, keeping another Fed hike in play this year. Okay, come on, guys. Here, we can do this. We'll see what the market actually says. The market, so this is, we have 2 more Fed meetings this year. So we have one next Wednesday, September 20th. Let's see what they say for November 1st. They put us at a 60% probability that we will still pause then. And then they continue to put us at 54% probability that we will be paused on the December one. So we'll wait and see what they say to next Wednesday. And of course, we'll live stream that together and see how all of that goes. BP CEO sudden fall puts oil major strategy back in play. Okay, that's like drama of like affairs and stuff. Bankers 40% pay cuts show the China dream fading in its richest cities. No-show workers add wrinkle. All right, inflation is dashing retirement plans as investors wake up to reality of price surges. Traders see Fed in wait-and-see mode after CPI markets wrap. All right, All right. No real news happening in there. Nothing big happening over here in crypto. We're just maintaining ourselves off of the capitulation that happened on Monday, which is great to see. You see the dollar down a little bit. You see the stock market up a little bit today. We'll take that and put a bow in it and call it a day. Wait a minute. Are we serious that I haven't even done it one time? We're 20 minutes into this thing and I haven't done it yet. You guys should love PTW because she is always on it.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my
I failed you all. I failed you so bad. I'm over here just doing federal reverse repo facilities and consumer price index inflation figures with the probabilities of the Fed issuing an interest rate hike, when in reality we just need to be over here frogging. I'm sorry about that. Oh no, man. I'm all prepared for it too. And I was just waiting for it. Right. It's a green day too. So it's not like I'm being a jerk doing it. Right. I always hate it on the like really red. It's like, we're frogging today. But not today. Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, you're figuring out what the heck was that? Every Wednesday, we just celebrate we're halfway through the week. We typically try to make Wednesdays pretty fun. I've clearly failed at that today by totally focusing on economic data points. But let's do that again. We'll go a little bit faster to make up for what I just did. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
It is Wednesday, my
There you go. There we go. Whew. Okay, now I feel like all that weight is off my shoulders. Okay, we're good. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're halfway through the week. I think if we could summarize what this morning looks like, it looks like we had CPI data come in very, very, very close to expectations. If anything, like a hairline above. Nothing that would be considered like a standard deviation outside of the norms. Totally like so close. It was within a hairline. It looks like the market doesn't care. The market was fine with it. Stocks open up a little bit higher based on the data. The expectations of the Fed pausing next week are even higher than they were prior to the data released. Looks like news-wise, like crypto-wise, I think really the only thing really happening here in the last 24 hours looks like probably Binance US is starting to wind down operations. Seems like it would be to be expected. Crypto sitting flat, after bouncing off of where it was expected. My thoughts are that we just hover here for potentially a couple more days until we shift up. And really, it's going to be next week where we get ready for that Fed pause as we continue to see the reverse repo facility, the money parked over at the Fed by institutions, is getting drained rapidly. And the last time we had a rapid drainage, it eventually led to the breakout through all of the different retracement levels here in the market. We could see that drainage has been happening even more rapidly, now below 1.5 trillion, still waiting for the market to respond to it. And it seems to be doing just fine with any type of economic data and any type of expectations on more pain from the Fed to come. So otherwise, decent morning with an up stock market. Looks like it's a little mixed now, a little bit of a mix. We have all the indexes in the green, but you got some mixed stuff over here on the right side of the screen. Nothing's crazy except for maybe Roblox. I don't know what's going on with those guys. Otherwise, these guys are doing all right. Coinbase of just about flat, with crypto pretty much green, but kind of flat this morning. So that's it today, guys. That's it. So happy Wednesday, everybody. We'll get through the chats. And then we'll get on with our day. It's a good start to the day. Economic data was fine. More expectations of Fed pause. It's next week, right? So I think this week is kind of now typically, like I always say, like the Fed weeks or like the volatility weeks, it's where you're going to see like volatility in the thumbnails and in the titles of my videos. But obviously, we've seen volatility already this week, right? In crypto, especially on Monday, it's where it was like max pain, capitulation. People were feeling the pain that particular day, whereas bottom sellers looking for 12K were cheering it on, and now you see them. No, it's going to turn over. whatever. I'm not gonna pick on them today. All right, let's hop into the chat. Andy Philpott, hit the like button and support the algorithm. Algorithm. If I can read that. Thank you so much, Andy Philpott, for the support and reminding me. If you could, guys, please hit the like button. Cash Me Outside, my brother, gifts a BCB membership. Thank you, Cash Me. George Alexander Rapoulis, happy Wednesday, my dudes. BCB, thoughts on inverted crashing structure on XRP daily chart. I haven't brought that up on the chart in a long time, but I do look at it frequently. I do look at it, dude. I do. And I'll save it for another time to like go super in depth into it. But yeah, I'm watching like a hawk, man. For sure. Next moves would be room, right? Typically, break, back test, break, then that's the end, wherever that lands. So, yeah, I'm going to let that play out for a minute more, and then we'll get into it a little bit. Some other interesting things being watched right now are like others over XRP USD. I've got this inverted, as I say. There we go. Back at that 200 week. Total 3. Back at it. All right. Ethereum's showing more strength going above it. Bitcoin is fighting right against it. So we'll see. Not exactly scientific here for Bitcoin, right? The first time we've ever seen it has really been with like total 3. Never before happened. And then others never before happened for that to occur. So that's kind of something to keep my eye on. But it's real funny, George, that you say that. I have been watching it. And if all we had here was this is just a back test of a broken channel. Oscar Hernandez, my brother, thank you so much. Is that a suitcase? Gator gifts 5. Man, thank you so much, Gator and Eric Martinson, guys. I appreciate it. Oscar Hernandez, best behaved children, and hit the like button. Elizabeth Warren's old lady voice. Oh, gosh. If you don't know, we do that sometimes on this channel. PJ Mersick says, I really appreciate you. It's been a fun couple of months ahead. I sure hope so, right? If that would be the case here in the markets, it would be a wild ride. Be a wild ride. So I don't know about you, but I've tried thinking like a little bit ahead, and if this is what plays out, right? Like, what will I do, right? Of course, I got to sell stuff. I'm going to sell stuff, but is there a way to profit off of it in the event that that is the case, and that is the next move that comes in this market after something like that, right? And for some people, maybe just cash only, just chilling in cash. But there's other high risk stuff that I've been eyeing, some options trades. One Rough Rican says, BCB, I sold my bag and we didn't moon. So when moon? When did you sell it, sir? And did we start moving up and you FOMO'd back in? And so we stopped our moon mission because you FOMO'd back. Is that what happened? Thanks, brother. Emmanuel, if XRP hits 750, I'm getting BCB tattooed on my arm. Also, FJB. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what FJB is, but that next thing's political. And it's not like I don't care what anybody's political affiliations are, but we don't do politics on here, guys. Emmanuel, thank you, sir. Kig, member for 19 months. Thank you, brother. Hip Flask, member for 4 months. Thank you for your kindness, BCB and 702 fam. Love you all. Hip Flask, my man. I saw your message yesterday, brother. Love to you and your family, sir. Just enjoy your family. Love to you, buddy. Caesar Miranda says, when the DXY has its dip, what kind of chain of events will happen? We'll all find out. I don't know. I don't know what the chain of events will be. I appreciate it, but I don't know. They're asking for the conspiracy narrative of how it'll all go. I don't know. Oscar Hernandez with the banana. Thank you, brother. Slick Rice, member for 31 months. I gave you some attitude after that August liquidation. I wrote in my emotional journalized and realized that was me capitulating. I didn't sell because I learned a lot from you. I apologize for being a troll. Dude, my bro. Thank you. Very rare people do that. Come back and say that. Slick Rice, you are fully forgiven, sir. It's funny though, because like the day we had it, I created a video the next day and said what we'll see is a lot of like the toxic behavior return back. And in this past week, especially leading up till Monday, you just see it all over Twitter, all over the fighting happening in there, all the slandering that's happening on there. You could see who has just gone completely rogue, that they post nothing but negativity. And that's just who they are, extremely emotional, and have not harnessed it. I get it. There's a lot of mixed opinions on Ryan Selkis out there, but man, like I've liked Ryan Selkis. I just like following him. I like that he does the Basari report and all that stuff. But man, dude, hopefully followers of him on Monday, I think underrated follow. Just he harnessed exactly what was going on. That's a man who's got experience. He's in like I say, you're gonna feel those emotions all the time. It's just how you react to them. Totally. And he was posting on there. I included in the video like harnessing my what was it? My like it feels like impending doom, right? Like that's how it feels. It feels like impending doom. And of course, your brain totally tells you run away from the impending doom. But his experience has taught him to dive in headfirst into the impending doom. I thought it was amazing. I was so impressed with Ryan and gained a whole lot higher respect for him on Monday, for sure. I already actually had respect for him, but it went even higher. I'm like, okay, this guy definitely gets it. He understands. He's tracked it before. He knows what it feels like to feel like garbage and then bury his heels in during that time. But yeah, all right, Slick Rice, my brother, thank you. The Jake Fu Show. I'm going as a 702 retrace for Halloween. Nobody will get it, man. Nobody will get it. I've been thinking of what I want to do. My wife has been thinking about doing the TMINF lady from the airplane. That's what my wife is thinking about being. I don't know what I'm going to do. Andy Philpott with the 5 BCB memberships. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. And thank you, Jake. Alpha Beta Soup's going as PTW for Halloween. Spencer says, morning BCB. I'm just wondering if the idea is still valid. The XRP is in a huge Elliott wave triangle. Definitely. The only way it wouldn't be, just in Elliott wave theory, literally the only way it couldn't be is if it actually takes out. Well, technically, I mean, we could like draw a triangle out a little bit better. Let's see, how would we want to do it? Let's go to 1. Let's go to 1. We'll just go like this. Concerns would start to show up at 40. And you would definitely not have it below 28. And I understand 28's a long ways to go from here, right? That's cutting it practically in half. But that's the volatility of crypto. Right? This is negative 96%, right? This is negative 70 something percent, right? These negative 50, right? Negative 70. That's how volatile crypto is. And that's why people love crypto and hate crypto at the same time. If you come in here with a stock market mindset of, and I can't tell you how many times I get this too. Hey, what do you think the chances are we just go up and then we just stop there? No, never, sir. We're going like that. That's what always happens after every one of them. But, you know, for the Elliott wave, like, what do you have? You have clear A, B, C, right? If we, for some reason, go below, yuck. And that's not to say it won't hold like way down here, which nobody wants. But it's not to say it wouldn't hold down here, but like how you don't have something that just goes on for a long time. I don't know. So really taking out the lows that we've already set would be the thing that would be utterly terrifying. Got a lot of stuff on there now. But yeah, it is. Jeff Dubai. Hey, BCB, much appreciated and thank you for your course. It's invaluable and a massive help in my decision-making process. I'm new to crypto and I just started building my portfolio right after the FTX collapse. Well, Jeff, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. That's when you start building, man. Holy cow. Most people pour in during the excitement. Most people enter into crypto after Bitcoin has broken out into a new all-time high, when all of their peers are talking about it, when they don't want to miss out on it, when they feel stupid. Financial media is covering it everywhere, and the prices have already risen very high. Very few get in, you know, when prices are suppressed and down, and after an event like that. So the fact that that's where you're getting all your entries in, boy, a lot of people wish that that's when they would have come into the market the first time, during depths like that rather than peaks. Thank you, Jeff. What are your thoughts on Jesse Jones? What are your thoughts on TMF with the pause and the stopping of the hikes coming? Appreciate you for everything you do. I don't know why TMF, the acronym's not coming to my head on what that is. Someone help me. Why am I'm drawing a blank on that. I'll get back to it. Thomas Campbell, confirming the green chart that you're comparing the Dow Jones is the Great Depression, or is it ETH? I can't remember. I'm confirming. The green chart you're comparing the Dow to is the Great Depression. We're talking about this? No, this is the Great Financial Crisis. Right? Too much forehead. No. This is your Great Depression. So no one answered what TF. What was it? TMF. Okay, I'm not silly then. If nobody else knows either. All right, so you can see like leading up to the Roaring '20s, we had this like broadening triangle happening here on the Dow Jones, just as we had happening in here for the Dow leading into this giant run that we're in right now, before it then breaks out and goes. I'll do this. Okay, and if you start that run right at the great financial crisis peak to valley, start it right there. It just so happens to pinpoint nail our 4.236 extension. So you do have a little bit of a different kind of peak that happens in here for Great Depression. It does pause out here for some time and then has its final little leg up to go. Again, it was one of those scenarios. You could see it in there too. Higher lows happening until higher lows suddenly weren't happening anymore, and then the world just fell apart. And that consistently seems to be the tops with how all of these go. That the second it doesn't set a new high or it sets a lower low, doomtown scenario incoming for markets. This is just really the closest replica of what we're seeing here right now. And if you remember back last year, people were using the Doomtown fractal to say that's where we were currently already, which it didn't make any sense to me. I argued it over and over again, saying this was a range in context. You can't use the ending of a range from a peak. Right? Use this one if you want to use any of them. Use this one. So this is what you saw constantly last year, right? It was like, no, that's not going to happen. But like, look, it's a perfect match. It's good to go. But it's also a perfect match for that too. And this is going to happen at the end of your ranging context. So this is the thing to be more concerned about. And Alpha Beta Soup, who's here in the audience right now, they're showing you all the economic data there is that exists out there to back it all up, to go with it too, for this idea that not only do price behavior mirror this way, but it's also getting very close to a 4.236 extension. It's getting very close to how high the Roaring '20s were, guys. I mean, that's just insane to me that the Roaring '20s happens to be a 4.236 extension of current price action measuring right here. That like it's a pinpoint nail. My thoughts. I'm probably, my kids, I've already put them in 2/3 money market accounts with their college funds. Only 1/3 of it is exposed to equities. I probably would put them at 100% money market. I probably will go to every member of my family because I'm a member of their family. I'm nobody's financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor, but I will go talk to my family and I'll say, listen. Do you realize what is happening? Because I have some family members who have not listened until this point, and it'd be kind of a lost chance. You know what I'd hope? You know what I'd hope, right? This is my thesis. This is what I'm going with. It's not going to waver. It's not going to change. But I hope it fires through. It makes me look like a clown. I look like an idiot on YouTube. I look like an idiot on Twitter. And we go into some majestic, magical euphoria of insanity. And the Fed prints $1 trillion, and I'm just wrong. Because this scenario is not going to be fun. This scenario will suck. Being a doomer, yeah, it's going to be fun for like 2 months on Twitter as you brag. But when you go try finding a job, it's going to kind of blow. So it's not something anybody should be cheering for. But it's what we see on the charts. So, you know, it's all fun and games to be a doomer on Twitter. But my bet, these doomers, they're all under 30. They have no clue what it was like to be upside down on a house during the great financial crisis, what it was like having to take crappy jobs, being like right on the brink of barely making it. I don't think any of these kids know. And if you're under 30 and you're cheering for doomer, you don't get it. Great financial crisis sucked. And if you were 14 years old going to high school or middle school or whatever you were at that time, you don't get it. All right. I think we need to do this because I just got a little ranty.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude.
Okay. Refreshing Wednesday. Doom chart. All right. Looks like we got the indexes flipping over a little bit now that the day is getting going. How is a Bitcoin holding up? Bitcoin's still holding up okay. Crypto's holding up okay during it. Still mostly green over here in crypto. All right, let's keep going. Anybody figure out what TMF was? TMF direction daily 10-year Treasury Bull 3X shares. Oh, geez. 20 plus year Treasury Bull 3X. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know anything about this thing. Direxion daily 20-year Treasury Bull 3X shares. So what? We cut rates. I mean, I guess you could just overlay the Treasury, right? So, I mean, you're pretty much just playing the inverse side of the Treasury. Now, whether or not it's bleeding out, it probably is. I don't know what their, how much cut they take annually, what their fee is on any of that either, right? I mean, you look at this thing, it went from 58, it's now at 588. So it's down 90% on this 10-year Treasury move, which went from, or 20-year Treasury, excuse me, which went from 1% to 4.5%. I don't know what it would be if this goes all the way back down to 1%. I don't know what that's going to go up to. I don't know. But it's pretty much if the Fed starts a cutting cycle, right? I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Waiting for the Fed to start a cutting cycle. We're at 702 likes. We're trying to break through the resistance. 703. Can we get a clear crack? There we go. Thomas, I went on a long answer for you, buddy. I hope you got that there. Neji, when XRP moon? The day you sell, my dude. Martin says, will you show us any options trading you do? I'm debating that on doing that. Here's why with options. Options are like leverage trading, and they are things that can go to zero. Options require you to have your timing correct. So that's one of the harder things is it does require timing. And if you do an option wrong, you can lose it all. It can go literally to zero. So it has to exceed your strike price by the expiration date, or you have to let go of it and sell it prior to the expiration date. Making sure that it's got liquidity and stuff in it. There's enough contracts that get traded in there. So I haven't decided on that yet, but if I did do options, it's going to be on the big names. Probably going to be on like your Apples and your Microsofts, things like that. Thank you, Martin. Jeff, I currently hold XRP, XDC, HBR, and CSPR. I still hold $25K, $250,000 USDT on the sidelines. Man, bro, don't post that all over the world. How and where would you distribute that? What do you think of CSPR and HBAR? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your $250,000. It's going to be a decision for you. I don't personally own any CSPR or any XDC. Not that I have anything against. One, I don't get CSPR, so that I'm not trying to FUD it. But when people ask me these questions, the answer was it. Casper and I met some of them at Consensus 2023, and I wasn't impressed. The XDC guys were way more impressive to me than the Casper people were. Casper people just kept trying to tell me about the Casper Enterprise Alliance. I don't know what it is for enterprise adoption and stuff. It just, every question I had, it felt like there wasn't really an answer there. And that was concerning to me. Of course, we've gone through all the inflation stuff on what's happened with Casper throughout the years. I believe they've corrected it now. But the market cap got all the way back up to the all-time high, but totally massive inflation problems with Casper historically. So where did all that supply go? Who got all that supply? Where the supply like tripled or quadrupled? Somebody has it. Who is the one who is inherently got it all? And then XDC, I don't own any. And it's not that I'm against them. It's just I'm not rehearsed enough on them at this time. I've met these guys in person. Very likable, very sincere. I do not feel they're like in any way exit scamming type people. They were totally legit, super great people. I don't own any yet though. I don't know if I will. But yeah. HBAR, huge development on HBAR, according to developer report and according to, oh my gosh, what's the name of it? Not Masari. I don't know why I can't think of it. I follow them on Twitter. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, if you guys want another like developer follow, was it Santian, right? Santiment. Follow Santiment. Santiment. Follow Santiment. They'll give you developer data. A lot of you guys do follow them. Probably about maybe 20%, maybe 15% of the people who follow me follow them. But check out Santiment. These guys. HBAR is constantly on the list. So that's cool. Problem with HBAR, 50% inflation rate. Ugh. Yuck. So that's the problem. HBAR seems like it's growing. Huge inflation rate, though. Another one of those ones that kind of requires timing. But the 250, I'm not going to tell you how to distribute it, buddy. That's on you. All right. I appreciate the support, though. Alaric Gold Cole, a dude gave me $120 for being in his video today. 'Twas a great Wednesday, my dudes. Why did a dude give you $120 for being in his video? That's crazy. Happy Wednesday. MC Crypto, BCB, what do you think of parking crypto profits in USDC at 5%? Is it safe? Better options? You're the GOAT. Thank you, MC Crypto. You can go park them in a United States Treasury bill. For, 5.4%, 5.3, 5.3, 5.3, 5.28, 5.31. So I don't see any like allurement to have to do that. Also, there are high yielding savings accounts out there with banks that you can do at least 4%, 4.25%. So it's a personal choice. I'm not in the camp of, and then plus you're probably keeping it on an exchange, right? So yeah, no, that's not for me. But I mean, everybody make their own decision on that, right? Ashkar Patel says, I watch the show every day. XRP, new all-time high before end of year. Right on, man. Ali, thank you very much, Ashkar. Ali, and thank you, MC Crypto. Ali Ostergren, new member, welcome. JJ Jacob, member for 3 months, welcome. In June, SEC Spring Phase, you said you go all in when a lower low occurs. 3 months later, alts like Multiverse X, QNT, Atom did exactly that. Thoughts? Let me see. In June, SEC Spring Phase, you said you go all in when lower low. Oh, just so you know, I'm pretty much already all in. I'm not sitting on the sideline here. This bro is deep. I'll look at some of my crypto bags and see how much I have, and I'll reflect back on 2019 and just like, dang. Mr. Q. Eric, tell them to hit the like button. There we go. But yeah, you need to research this. So I don't own any Multiverse X, but I do believe they have lots of development, right? QNT, I don't own any QNT. Dot and Atom, I do own some Dot and some Atom. Combined, they probably represent approximately 3 to 4% of my entire portfolio. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of where you're at. If you think this is going to hold, under no circumstances, right, guys? And I don't need to argue it. It's just data. Under no circumstances is it good for Bitcoin to go break into a new low. If it breaks into a new low, that historically is bad. Okay? Bad. People depending on influencers to tell them, is it okay now? Is it okay? Is it good now? You need to compare your data. Just do your own data research and look and say, right, if-then statements. If Bitcoin sets new low, is that good? Historically, no. Bad. Long-term bad. So, it's a place for like shots to be taken, but there's a clear invalidation happens pretty quick, right? Pretty simple, right? Small loss, clear invalidation. Jay Wiles, with Bitcoin maintaining the higher low, what about Ethereum? It didn't seem to hold the level as well as Bitcoin. Is there a different wave count for Ethereum, ABC? Right. So with Ethereum's a little bit more of a challenge, right? And I don't know if it's going to go into spring or if it's going to hold last point of support for Ethereum in itself. Very well could spring. I'd be surprised if it springs, but it could. But I'd be more surprised if it does. If this takes it out, if Bitcoin takes that out, then for sure I'm going to think Ethereum's going to go deep into a spring. You know, the rules we have outlined for higher lows when it comes to Bitcoin are merely just your last decade's worth of data. Bitcoin has acted very predictable when it comes to these types of price actions, when it comes to maintaining higher lows and continuing to grind. It's just what it always does. The second a lower low gets set, it's the end. And so even in this circumstance where we know how Bitcoin has behaved throughout all of 2015, 2014, 2015, 2016, we know we're supposed to be right here. We know this is the appropriate price place for Bitcoin to be. And of course, you guys know I'm not a believer of new all-time high for Bitcoin. I will be shocked if we do. I don't think we will. But where we are is an appropriate price location and price behavior on how we got there. So this is appropriate. But in recoveries, still, we should be maintaining the higher lows all the way up for things to continue moving higher. That's it. And so this is like very specific rules pertaining to Bitcoin's price action, Bitcoin's recovery. It's Fourier cycles and it's block reward having magic that it needs to, it needs to keep going. And if it doesn't, it signals something different, right? Inconsistent behavior for Bitcoin. And with how much we've talked about that the structure that Bitcoin has created versus Ethereum in 2017, the second a lower low gets put into place, it opens up that door that this is not nonsense, that you can go down into these 2Ks and these 3Ks down here for Bitcoin. As long as it's maintaining higher highs, it's technically acting exactly like it should be. And I do not understand, I really can't, how there's all these Fourier block reward having people who are like the magic of Fourier cycles, the magic of halvings, and have all this expensive data that they can use, how they can't see this. I do not understand how they can be calling for 12K, how you can sit here and reasonably expect 12K and you don't see this. It's so obvious a third grader could see it. I don't get it. This should be every block reward having theorist. This should be your base case. Like, no question, this is your base case. You are finishing a 2014 crash. You are in 2015 currently right now. You're setting your higher lows to work up another level. Then you have your block reward having happen over here. That is consistent with how it has happened in every cycle, how that's not the base case, how somehow, some way we're talking new lows. It's bizarre. I don't know if that's just a hedge to protect people to say that, but there's no way. If you are doing this, this is your base case. Block reward having people, this is your base case. If you don't know it, I don't know how you don't. That's it. Okay. It is Wednesday, my dudes. I only ate a half a muffin today, guys. I don't normally eat muffins. That's what I had. I didn't have my breakfast shake. I apologize. I get intense about it. This is what I think about. I'm like, how do they not see it? How do they not see it? I'm losing my mind. So Ethereum's a more difficult one. I don't know. It is price behavior. It could spring. It could. I don't have a very clear read on Ethereum's range, right? So let's look at Ethereum's range. All right. So essentially, we're in a large range, right? Now, it's just simple Wyckoff accumulation, right? Is that you have your automatic rally, you have your secondary test in phase B. Now, is this last point of support that's just going to keep grinding or will it spring? Typically, if you're going to spring, man, you would have already done it. But it just can't be ruled out until it breaks. Like if we go take out 21.43, done. Game over. We're done. We're leaving this range. It's done. But as of right now, still the wait. Right? Even in last point of support, this is what it does. Like we showed this the other day. That's the worst part about this last one. Does it spring or does it just go? Here. See how we can dip even lower? But it doesn't spring, right? And it's just teasing you that it's going to do it, right? Because what we know is we know in the spring phase, what's the other thing we can have? Creak, boom, and then you can have it, right? But you can also not, right? Essentially, it's a large range, right? Here's your range. And we're in a ranging context. So in a ranging context, what is it, right? What do we call it? The anatomy of a trading range, right? So we are in a range. This is our range. We've been bouncing around in here for forever. What can we do in our range? Creak, crack. Last point, right? Look at this, pretend it's upside down. Last point. This is last point of supply, but it would be last point of support. Let's see if we can have a last point. And see, this is the inverse, right? This is up thrust after distribution. So this is like the inverse. This is Wyckoff distribution versus accumulation. You like pretend you're upside down. What would this be? This would be like your spring in accumulation, but it's called your up thrust after distribution when you're distributing. Just like this is called your last point of supply rather than our last point of support. Let's see if we can get a last point of support. Here's one right here. Last point of support. Let's zoom in on it. So we kind of A, B, C, takes out that, and then, oh no, it's broken. It's going to spring all the way to the low, right? No. So it's kind of where we're at, right? Spring. Not very good examples of LP, last point of support. Yeah, you get the idea. It's a trading range, right? And so we're in that final phase of a trading range where you have last point of support or you have spring. And we'll find out. But thank you, Jay Wiles. Navarro, only 10% hit that like button. Not good, my dudes. I know we can get to 1,000. We've done it. Here's what we'll do. We're going to do the screwed up and chopped. All right, look, we don't have anything crazy going on in markets, right? Look, Bitcoin's at 26,200. Everything's fine. We got a green market today. Stock market's kind of holding itself together. All the indexes are green. You got a little bit of mix going on in here, really with kind of Roblox kind of suffering, but otherwise the indexes are okay. I think it's okay for us to have a little bit of fun today. So I'm going to do the screwed up and chopped version for Ryan. and Oscar. And during that, let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes, my guys, my dudes. Happy Wednesday, everybody. And it's a relaxing day in the markets. I think we'll take that today.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday.
All right. If it's your first time tuning in, guys, we talk about economic data here nonstop. We're halfway through the week. Who loves going to work on a Wednesday? Probably nobody, but we celebrate it here that we're halfway to the weekend. So excuse the fun. It's just what we like to do over here on our Wednesdays. Otherwise, guys, we're about an hour and 10 minutes into this thing. Let's go ahead and get through these, and I'll let you guys get on your merry way. Adam. We got 939 likes. That is nowhere close to 1,000. Adam says, BCB, with the DGI fractal looking like it's going to collapse by the end of the year, are you concerned that XRP won't have enough time to get up to $7 before being dragged down by major markets? I think this is what people don't pay attention to in crypto at all most of the time, or they kind of build these false expectations of how crypto does behave, that they think that, and I'm not picking on you, Adam. This is for everybody. They think crypto just kind of grinds up and goes on these bull runs that last years long. We can go through the history of crypto and see that's just not the case. And bull runs don't last long. If you get 90 days out of an altcoin run, that was a very good run. That's unusual. Even XRP's like historical big massive runs like these, they're kind of like end of period things that happen, right? That's 15 days, right? This whole move happening in here, that's 60 days, right? You're going from March until May, where you go from 0.006 to 0.40. And I'm not saying it's going to be that, that's almost a 100x. I'm not saying we're going to do that, but to see how much time elapsed for things like that, or things like this right here. 23 days, right, where you go from 24 cents to $3.80, $3.30. Happens in 23 days. So it's going to be at the end of a cycle. I mean, or the end of euphoria, probably into the final moments before things all fall apart, where everybody is usually euphoria happening in the markets. If we do get up there, if we start seeing, like, let's say we see this. If we get to this, let's just pretend we play out exactly like this, which it's highly unlikely we're going to play out exactly like it. But let's pretend we did. And let's say we got right here. Okay. This pull down that happens right here. And we haven't seen anything happen. Yes, I will be concerned. Very. Very. In this environment, like, we don't know if it's going to play out like that. But if it did, and nothing had happened by the time we got right there, that's where I'd be petrified. I mean, when we get up here, I'll start screaming. And what hopefully we're seeing markets really rally into this. And it's not hopefully, but if we do see if we see the markets that have really been lagging behind, that like they still kind of lag a little bit. They still lag. And then now they're starting to take off, right? Where do you have the Russell that's still behind, right? You see altcoins rally, you see Bitcoin rally, you see everything start to rally right into here. That's the end of cycle kind of moves happening in there. But this would, if a new lower low got put into place and nothing can happen, that's where I would be real scared of the market. Scared is one thing, concerned, right? That we now have very bad things happening in the market. Very little evidence to support continued rallies happening in this market. And I know there's a lot of narratives that make really great YouTube videos for why price go up. The only evidence that exists out there for a continued sustained rally to happen in XRP has been with the help of the rest of the cryptocurrency market, including Bitcoin. So no narratives have done it. But, I still think we're good. Until we're not. And when the day comes where I just don't think we're good anymore, I'll say it. People will hate me. It's okay. But not today. Not today. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to be the doomer. I've been it before. You think people talk trash at the lows? You don't know what 2021 was like. You know how many people were making YouTube videos about me? Saying how wrong I was? They're saying like, log-based fibs. Why don't you use log-based fibs? Dummy. It's normal. I'm not scared to do it. And when the time comes, I will. All right, Adam. BCB with the DJI fractal looking like it's going to collapse. Oh, you already did this one. There we go. Right. The reality is any type of large sustained move in XRP has historically not lasted more than like 30 days. I mean, it's the reality. Gator, happy Wednesday, everybody. All right. There we go. Got through all of them. Hey, BCB, how do market caps matter if it's merely a price X circulating supply? The market caps have been the things that have been reactionary. It seems like that's where the profits get taken at. It just seems to be the thing that's more reactionary than the actual price chart. For sniping and being more precise, right? Like we're looking at price charts right now, but if like we started seeing a real sustained rally come in crypto, and we started seeing a sustained rally happening in Bitcoin, a lot of my attention is going to flip off of like micro looking at, like, let's say Bitcoin got to like, I don't know, $40, $45, $50,000. Yeah, I'll be looking at the price chart, but I'm going to be studying the market cap of Bitcoin a whole lot closer. I'm going to be studying how it's behaving to Fibonacci's there, and like recognizing that, the price of Bitcoin may not hit precise fib levels. Right? Even you go back here, right? The actual price chart of Bitcoin, right? You're going through a couple of years of inflation happening in here. Exceeds the 618, but like doesn't quite get to the 702. The market cap got a whole lot closer. Right? And then we all know the market cap nailed 4.236. So that's going to be what I'm focusing on when it comes to like sniping lower, when I'm really trying to hone it in. But all right. Okay, let's see here. I think we're pretty much good. We've got a green stock market. We've got a green Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. So 26,269. Still ranging, I believe. I don't think we've like broken out or anything. Yep, still ranging. Range likely to continue for a couple more days. If not, let's keep going. But I do think the bottom is in. DXY, about stable. Gold, about stable. XRP, stable. Dow Jones, stock market, stable, slightly up. Had inflation data today, met expectations. Market's expectations of a Federal Reserve interest rate hike are set at 97% probability that we are paused, and there will not be a hike. Otherwise, as for news, big move down in the overnight repo yesterday, now down to below 1.5 trillion. Otherwise, let's go. We're good to go. Let's play the frog one more time, guys, and then we'll peace out of here. Douglas Ballou. Did I miss you? Who is Douglas Ballou? PTW is over here telling me I missed Douglas. My dude. I apologize if I did. Oh. I don't know who Douglas Ballou is. See, PTW is on top of it, right? She watches the chat and she tells me what's going on. And she says, she just texted me and she said, hey, Douglas Ballou liked the stream, even though you never say hi to him. Maybe shout him out. No, he was in the chat. I don't. Is that a major person, or is that just some other guy? I don't know who that is. Either way, Douglas Ballou, whoever you may be, I don't know. I don't know. I thought maybe I missed something. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. Of course, you guys can check out this content over here, like I say, every day for more content from me. Otherwise, I'm going to start wrapping this up and shutting my trap. And wish you all a wonderful day. Happy Wednesday. We're halfway to the weekend.
It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude. It is Wednesday, my dude.
All right, that is going to be it for today. Markets are just fine today after the CPI data release. Market still expects a pause next week, so we just kind of trilling out, waiting for that to happen, waiting for this market to give us the goods. Bitcoin above 26.2. Otherwise, the rest of the market's doing just fine. I want to wish you guys all a wonderful day. Happy Wednesday. Oscar throwing down 5 BCB memberships. If you are gifted and you get turned green by these guys, make sure to thank them. It's very generous of them to do that. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for tuning into the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this live stream. Please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.